You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. G'day people around the world. In today's episode, we're gonna jazz it up once again. Do you know anybody who plays double bass? Well, I do, and his name is Vincent Hsu, and that's gonna be my guest for the next 2 episodes. So buckle up, cause it's about to get jazzy. Vincent got his jazz education in New York, In addition to jazz, he also likes to play Afro-Cuban music, and he is also the founder and music director of two bands, the Jazz Supreme Orchestra and Soy La Ley, Afro-Cuban Jazz Band, which was invited to perform at the New Orleans Jazz Museum and the Downriver Festival, followed by their 2019 US tour in New York, Chicago, and Connecticut. In addition to performing, Vincent is also committed to the outreach of jazz culture and original compositions, actively promoting jazz and Afro-Cuban music through projects in education and international exchange. His radio show Jazz Supreme also won Best Non-Pop Music Program and Best Non-Pop Music Program Host at the 2020 Golden Bell Awards. We opened the episode with a track called River is Wide, from the album called Music for the River Jazz Suite, The Spirit of Love River and Mississippi River, composed by Vincent and the Jazz Supreme Orchestra. So please make some noise for the double bass ambassador, Vincent Hsu. Welcome to the studio. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very happy to talk to you.
Yeah, me too.
And could you please shortly introduce yourself for the listeners?
Okay, my name is Vincent Hsu, and I play double bass. I play jazz, Afro-Cuban, and different kind of genres. Yeah.
Yeah, so last week we had another very talented jazz musician, and we're going to continue with jazz theme. And of course, I'm very interested to know, how does one come to jazz music and their background? How and in what age did you come to play your instrument? And if you had any other musical background before?
Yeah, I think I started listening to like a rock and roll when I was in high school. I played guitar.
Yeah.
And when I got to university in Taiwan in my senior year, I started to listen to jazz. And I was very lucky to meet Cecil Maybe, who is a very famous double bassist.
Okay.
You know? And he played with all the legendary musicians. And he played with one Japanese pianist in Kaohsiung. And I was there because I was in army, you know. Then after they played, there was a trio, the piano trio, Sansha Yangfu trio. Then I just go to the backstage. Originally, I wanted to talk to the drummer, but I didn't see drummer. I saw a bass player standing right there, nothing to do. So I just talked to him.
Yeah.
And just asked him like two questions. I asked him like, oh, do you know who is Charles Lloyd? He said, yeah, I know. I played with him in the 60s. Another question is like, do you know the school called New School? And he said, yeah, I know. I teach in there for 20 years.
Wow.
You know, just two questions. We connect right away.
Yeah.
And this is like 2000. 2000. You know, like 25 years ago now. I couldn't believe. After that, we wrote to each other later, you know.
Yeah.
When I was in army. And I asked him if I want to study jazz, where should I go? You should come to New York. But there's nothing guarantee if you come, because it was too competitive, the jazz scene. So, but if you want to learn jazz, come to New York. And that's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very great story, you know, that it's very...
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's very...
Actually,
you and fun.
Yeah, I'm a random person to him. He was a random to me, too. I have no idea who he was. Even right now, in Taiwan, very few people know about him.
Yeah.
That's kind of a problem.
Yeah, he kind of like put the, I don't know, wind into your sails, just like to go one direction. He kind of helped you to
it's
shape.
just incredible. At that time of my life, I was listening to Charles Lloyd. Actually, he just came to Taiwan this year. And I was looking for some jazz schools, you know, so it just clicked. Yeah.
So nice. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So did you have a band in high school with guitar and everything?
Yeah, of course. Like Bon Jovi, you know, like we play
all the covers.
Aerosmith, Bryan Adams, right? Yeah.
Right. So you were into rock.
Yeah.
So then did their performance made such a huge impact that you were like more, okay, I will consider, of course, the musician as well. And also the trio. Like suddenly you started liking jazz.
Yeah.
Did you go to New York to study jazz right away?
No. Actually, the pivot point is like I play a lot of rock and roll, right? But at that time, Taiwan is very popular. People doing covers.
Yeah.
And I realized, I don't want to play the same tune every night. You know, a lot of my friends play every night. It's like, sometimes it's fun, but But after I found out jazz, wow, I don't have to play the same every time.
No, it's never the same.
Yeah, it's like, wow, yeah, this is something for me. Yeah. So, but at that time, I didn't really play jazz. I play a little bit jazz guitar. But when I moved to New York, so I called Cecil, yeah, I'm here. Can we meet? And he brought me to buy my first bass. So when I was 25 years old, I studied TESOL, teaching English as a second language, at City College of New York as master's degree. Then at the same time, I studied bass with him, and I also studied piano. Jazz piano, yeah. I just find a private teacher. He was
Oh.
Dizzy Gillespie's music director.
Mm-hmm.
You know, New York is amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I'm very interested to hear about your life in New York.
Uh-huh.
Was it your first time abroad for that long?
No. Oh, yeah. Yes. But I've been to New York when I was like second year in college. I went,
for
actually, Long Island too. I went to Long Island University
nice.
for the summer.
Nice.
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Okay, so you went there and you finished your degree, master's degree,
Yes.
and then you started
I auditioned for undergrad,
for undergrad.
jazz department, the same school.
Uh-huh.
That's my plan. When I apply this school, I try to find a school that has a TESOL and jazz studies.
Mm-hmm.
Then New York City College was perfect for me. It's in Harlem, you know.
Yeah.
I was only apply at one school, you know. But my father told me, apply another one. At least you had a backup. So I applied another one in the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I got accepted in New York one. You know,
Mm.
the City College in Harlem is incredible.
Yeah, I bet. Was it difficult to get in like jazz school? Did you have to have some certain level of
Of course.
any
yeah.
music?
Of course, they don't
Okay.
accept beginners.
Okay.
Yeah. School in New York, you have to audition. School like Berkeley of Music, they accept different levels.
Right.
Because they category like different student, different levels.
Mhm.
So you can study from any level.
Yeah.
But in New York, the college, you have certain degree.
How long have you been playing bass?
I auditioned like after 1.5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was, and the John Patitucci, the world famous John Patitucci was he was sitting right in front of me.
Oh,
you know,
that's
He's like,
scary.
yeah, so scary. It's incredible. Then I failed first time.
Uh-huh.
And after half year, I auditioned again and
Wow.
I got in. Yeah, but sometimes because the instrument too, because I play bass.
Mm-hmm.
Every school needs bass player.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah,
relatively, maybe I'll be a little bit easier to get in compared to
Okay.
other instrument, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was the case because the other one who got in, he was really advanced. Yeah, so I got really lucky to be in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a public school, and a lot of my classmates come from Europe, come from different part of the world, so very friendly.
Yeah.
Some private school in New York is very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They
So
don't-
not
they-
everybody stepping on each other here. You were
Yeah, in
all
public
kind of
school, city
helping.
college is very friendly environment. I
So
love
nice.
it. Yeah, and so yeah, I was lucky.
Yeah, that's very inspiring that you are following your thing that you wanted to do, even though you failed the first time you went again.
Yeah,
It's very good. Have you ever had the thought of like pursuing jazz guitar or the electric bass, for
In the
example?
beginning, I was playing just guitar.
Mhm.
You know, play like Joe Pass style, Kenny Burrell. But after I play bass, I
Just
totally
put the guitar
switched.
to rest.
Yeah, it's like it's the mentally is totally different. The mindset, the how you express yourself, the function, the role is really different.
Mhm.
So, you know, I totally changed. And besides, it needs a lot of time to practice as a beginner with a string instrument.
Yeah.
If you study violin, viola, double bass in 20s, that's pretty crazy. That's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people say, yeah, guitar hurts on fingers. And I'm like, have you ever tried double bass? It's
Wow, it's different, totally different
It's
kind of
different.
instrument. Even compared to electric bass and the double bass is
Right.
different instrument.
For
so.
sure, yeah. All right, so you're in New York, everything is going well, and you stayed there for undergrad and masters for bass.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any most memorable stories from your studies, or maybe the most influential teacher, classmate, something
Yeah.
that made your experience even
Yeah,
more richer?
I can talk whole night about my teachers.
Awesome.
You know, because that's how I got started. That's my legacy. You know, I studied in New York. That means a lot to me. You know,
Yeah.
I studied jazz. It's almost like even that's my second language, but I learned in the environment is like native to them.
Yes.
So, but I was very, very lucky. My first teacher is Cecil Maybe, and my classical teacher is called John Schaefer.
Mm-hmm.
He was a principal bass in the New York Philharmonic. So he gave me my classical training,
Yeah.
and he told me he never had a beginner students. I was his first beginner.
Oh, wow.
And
That's an honor.
yeah, and he was in his 80s. You know, when I met him, I think he was like 83. And he told me, oh, I got 2 pensions. I don't need any money. I got 1 pension from Juilliard School and 1 pension from, you know, for Harmonic. So I don't need any money. He just charged me $50. You know, all of
So
his
nice.
students or his level, like over close 200, if they charge. But he was retired, so I don't need money. He teach 3 hours for $50.
So nice.
Yeah, and he only teach maybe 2 students in 1 week. Because he was but he spent
must
his
have really
time.
liked you.
Yeah, we have kind of connection. But because he will mock at me sometimes. He will say, "Oh, you had a business degree. I had a business degree in Taiwan." He said, "You have business degree. You have teacher degree. Right now you want to play bass." He also told me, "It will never get any easier." And he also told me, "Don't complain. You choose to do this. Don't complain." he's such a character. He's an amazing person. And another teacher is called Victor Venegas. He was a bass player for Mongol Santa Maria. In the 60s, they have a very famous song called Watermelon Man. Watermelon Man. They are the original. Originally, it was Herbie Hancock's tune.
Yeah.
But they put that tune into like a Latin vibe. Then it became big. That was my get into Afro-Cuban music. Victor Venegas was very important for me. So I have Cecil Maybe. Classically, I have John Schaeffer. Latin bass, I have Victor Venegas. But also, I have different teachers along the way,
Right.
Yeah. But as a beginning, big three.
Big three.
Yeah, in my earlier days.
Yeah. And then, so you finished the school. Were you intending to stay in New York for a while to get maybe settled to pursue your career of bassist in there?
At that time, because I was playing at Homeland, there was a pub called St. Nick's Pub. That used to be the second oldest club in New York. The first oldest one is Village Vanguard. And St. Nick's would be the second oldest, like a Charlie Parker, Billie Holiday, Fats Waller, a lot of great musicians play there. I was there every Friday night. And I played for 5 years, Every time I moved to downtown because I went to NYU for my master's. Then I moved to downtown. Then after 5 years of thinking, I never go back to Taiwan to play. I play bass in New York, but I never get to the place where I born.
Right.
So I was kind of want to come back to see. I want to observe, different nutritions. That was my thought at that time. And also at that time, my girlfriend at that time, she's in arts administration. She's in arts, and her work is pretty demanding. And we're thinking maybe we can kind of change our environment, so come back and we get married. Right now, she's my wife, and so that's the point. 8 years is okay for me, but for her it's 5 years. She was in New York for 5 years. For me it's 8. But I think I can come back to Taiwan to see what's going on here.
Sounds like the New York all worked out for both of you really good.
You
met, then you came back.
Yeah.
Both of you agreed to come back, so that's very good.
Yeah.
It must be really very inspiring and like very fulfilling to walk and play in the same places as your legends, your idols that you look up to,
Yeah.
I would love to just see, I don't know, where Gary Moore used to perform or something. It would be very wow, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
So I know your feeling, yeah.
Yeah, because St. Nick's is so unique. He gave me the education of the like a black music, because in school you don't really expose to environment, but real education is in all those clubs.
Yes.
When we have a break, the older guy in the neighborhood, because St. Nick's pub is a neighborhood bar, it's old people neighborhood. The older people will come and they'll play jukebox. That's the real education start, I listen to all those music they play. It's amazing. All the Motown, like Stax, all the different labels, and that was a real education for me. Yeah.
All right, so you finish school, you come back to Taiwan. In between, when you were studying, I'm pretty sure you had the chance to come back to Taiwan. What was your outlook on like the whole music scene in Taiwan, and especially jazz scene in Taiwan compared? Well, if it's comparable to New York, did you have any, maybe were you a little bit disappointed, or did you have anything like, we can improve this, and then you started somehow being engaged in the jazz community?
Wow. I think as an artist, the most thing I care about is like who you play with and what kind of music you play.
Right.
The content of, and is the music original or you play standards, So I kind of learned not to complain about the environment in earlier of my like learning process. If I complain, then I will never learn this instrument.
Right.
Because it's so tough.
Yeah.
I learned how to accept. I learned how to accept my level. I learned because all my classmates in college, they play since they were 5 years old. The other bassist in my class, his father is a principal double bass in Ohio or something, So they are all my teachers. At that time, and even my roommate, I live in Harlem, all my roommate, a lot from Mountain School Music from Julia. I have one roommate from Julia. She's doing his artist diploma, that's the most advanced degree.
Yeah.
So all those people, they just... So the only thing I can do, I have to accept myself. Right. I have to learn. I have to accept my own level. So I kind of learn not to complain about environment or what. I just concentrate on my own environment, my own situation, and try to protect what I can do.
Right.
Because it's a tough career.
Yeah.
People know kid about like, right now you go to what school, how much you pay, and you study jazz. Really? How much you can make? All my teachers in college, all those legendary musicians. Oh, you guys pay. You're rich guys. So all my teachers, they will just joke with us like, wow, you guys pay so much money.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. So mentally you have to be prepared. So when I come back, at that time there wasn't any like a jazz scene yet. Because at that time, my generation, people like me, Ming Yan, and Yu Yin Xiaogui, and maybe Zheng Yi, like, we have similar age. Yeah. At that time, that was the time we come back. I think the scene started after that.
All the musicians come back and
yes,
let's start
they
the
come
scene.
back from Europe, and Yu Yin and me come back from New York. So we play together, and that's how scene started. So I think the biggest difference is we have original jazz. Before that, jazz treated us like wedding music, or even people really don't know what is jazz,
Yeah.
But after we come back, we started to our music. We started have our own like originals. So that's what we do now. We're still doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Then speaking of your music, could you enlighten me about some of the projects you have been working on? Something you're doing these days?
Over the years, I did a lot of curating festivals, like a National Concert Hall, like the Summer Jazz Festival. I curate like for about 5 years. So one of the years, I brought back the Sanix Pub, We have a stage to put a whole stage like Sanix Pub.
Wow.
So I try to, because for me, the most important thing is the culture. Yeah, we have to understand culture. We really can study music, only music. We have to treat the music as a part of culture. So I try to bring back some culture. But the tricky thing is culture is the most difficult thing to deliver to people. If you don't go to the environment, it's very hard to deliver.
It's tough. You want to bring a piece of New York to Taiwan?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing.
Yeah.
And because it's very personal. All my experience, all those guys I play with at SNX Pub, sometimes people walk in and he say, oh, I play with Stevie Wonder. After I play with those guys, then people tell me, oh, he was Stevie Wonder's drummers, that. I said, wow. I just find out, wow, I play with certain people, like that's incredible, So my goal become, I try to let my student or like the whole environment know about the culture of the music and how we treat jazz music, how my teacher treat music, how they sacrifice so many different things. They can do different other things, but they choose to dedicate themselves, their own composition, their own music, their instrument, their career is a lot of dedication. So that kind of dedication, sacrifice, and connect to culture, jazz culture, So I try to bring that back. Yeah. Recently I just released my album. It's about Love River in Kaohsiung and Mississippi River. Yeah. So I combine like local story, Love River, where I grew up in Kaohsiung, and Mississippi River because I went to Clarksdale, the blues, where blues come from in Clarksdale.
Delta.
I went to Nashville, Memphis, Clarksdale, like New Orleans. I played in New Orleans. I did a trip. So I just combined the whole different musical story and my inspiration about Mississippi River and Love River into this 12-piece band. Yes. And we recorded live in Kaohsiung, Weiying. Yeah.
So that's all your project?
Yeah, it's all my original music, and it was released in the New York label called Truth Revolution Records.
Awesome!
Yeah,
wow.
And we are very happy to gather 4 stars in Downbeat magazine. Also got the editor's pick.
Wow!
Yeah, he's like,
wow,
good job. My record company did a good job to promote. Yeah, okay.
That's great. Wow, that must have felt good. to
Is a
put this out and even have it
yeah,
evaluated.
it's very hard to imagine for me. After 20 plus years, I have my name on Downbeat. It's incredible. It's like, wow,
proud moment for sure.
Yeah, you never can. Yeah, I'm really proud because it's a local man. All the musicians in Taiwan, they live in Taiwan. It's not like I hire some superstar musician. I record, no, we won a award or something. No, this is a locally made and got recognized in New York. It's a huge. I think it's for people I play with. I think it's huge for us, even for Taiwan. I don't know, even for a bass player.
Yeah, now all the people that you played with, they'll be able to say, "Hey, I played with Vincent."
Oh yeah, I play with them too. Yeah, the most grateful thing is I met all those musicians. Without them, my music was still on paper. Wow. All those great musicians, they accept who I am. They accept everything I wrote. They help me to realize. I'm a dreamer, but they are a dream builder. They help me to realize the whole project. And my wife also, she's doing the managing everything. So
that's awesome.
So it's incredible. It's a teamwork, totally
very
teamwork.
Excellent for sure.
Yeah.
Oh. That's all we got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to What It Takes to Play and Make It in Jazz. And I'm honored to have interviewed one of the quote-unquote godfathers of original jazz scene in Taiwan. And we have a little bit more time left to play a part of his first song from the mentioned album titled Overture Cotton Field. So if you like what you're hearing, please go and support Vincent Hsu's music. That's vincenthsujazz.com, or head to our website where all the information will be published. I wish everybody a lovely week and take care of yourselves.